Hello ladies and everyone, just wanted to come and talk to you today because there's some people who are new to my world, so I want to kind of like do a bit of a reintroduction. And also for some of you who've been here for quite a while, you might not be fully aware of the systems that I use in my work and the extent of the healing capacity of what's on offer here. All right guys, so I just wanted to come and talk to you this morning about this, about the depth of what is available for you in this space. Okay, so as you know from the present day, you know that I am a Chinese medicine practitioner, a meditation teacher, and a spiritual life coach. Okay, this is who I am today. And the specialisms that I kind of focus on are menopause, but not just menopause, it's the whole woman's journey. Okay guys, because when we're thinking about menopause, it's a stage of a woman's life, okay? And what determines how you experience your menopause is the stages that have gone before. So from a Chinese medicine perspective, you may have heard me say before, and if you're new to my world, then I'll say it now. But ultimately, this whole process begins in the womb. So I shared a post yesterday with an excerpt from a book, an amazing book. I haven't got it on my desk at the moment to show you, but it's a book about femininity from the ancient Chinese classical texts of Chinese medicine. Okay, and so it's all about how during the time we spend in our mother's womb, at around month 3, depending on where there's a predominance of blood or yang, okay, blood or qi, yin or yang, will determine the sex of the baby. And so the predominance of blood, this doesn't mean a woman has more blood, but it means that the kind of like the direction of the energy flow is more kind of like emphasized on the blood. And when we think in terms of yin and yang, yin is a downward concentrating movement and yang is an upward dispersing movement. Okay, so the energy of yang rises and disperses, and the energy of yin descends. That's the word, descends. The yin energy descends. So in a woman, what this looks like is the blood concentrating around the uterus. And then for a man, it's the energy uprising. So men are a lot more in their heads. And, there's so much that can be said about this, okay? But that's not the point of this video, all right? So we can talk about that another day. And if you've got any questions on anything I ever say, I strongly invite you to question, okay? Question me. You can either leave comments in the questions. Sorry, let me say that the right way around. You can either leave questions in the comment section below, or you can private message me. All right, guys? So what I want to talk to you today is what's on offer here, okay? So let's go. It's much easier for me to go from the present day backwards than it is to try and start from the beginning and get to the present day without forgetting any of the important details, okay? So what's on offer here today? What are the systems that I'm working with and what am I focused on? Menopause, but not just menopause, the entire womanhood journey, okay? So let me just finish what I was saying there about the womb for one sec. When we're in our mother's womb, okay, we have millions and millions of follicles, okay, created during the time we're in our mother's womb. When we come out of the womb and we're in the physical 3D reality, our follicles reduce by half. So this is the beginning of the decline. This is the beginning of the decline of the eggs and of the estrogen and of the yin and the descent towards ultimate menopause, okay? I'll get the exact figures for you, but it's something around, say there's 1 million follicles when you're inside your mother's womb, and then when you come out, there's like, they're halved, so there's like 500,000. And then by the time we hit menopause, they're on the decline throughout our entire life. And then as we hit menopause, we've only got 10,000 left. Okay, so this is what menopause is. It's the decline of the estrogen. Hello, Tina. It's the decline of the yin, which is why our emphasis wants to be on being more yin and increasing the yin. Okay, I don't want to repeat myself too much in different videos. Okay, but what I want to say to you today is what this all is. Okay, so the systems that I'm using in my approach to help you to become more yin are Chinese medicine. And within the Chinese medicine umbrella, there are many kind of systems under one umbrella. So we've got the 5 element system. This is the one that I strongly resonate with, because you've got traditional Chinese medicine, which is more like medical based. Okay, and as a Chinese medicine practitioner, I'm trained in both traditional Chinese medicine and 5 elements. Traditional Chinese medicine it's like the Chinese medicine version of going to your GP and getting medicine for whatever is ailing you at that moment in time. Okay, 5 element theory is more about you as a whole person. It's more about your psyche. It's more about your constitution. It's more about your soul. Okay, because in the 5 element theory, we're focusing on the 5 main yin organs, which is the liver, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, and the kidneys. And each of those organs, excuse me, each of those organs houses an aspect of your soul. So there's Chinese names for these aspects of your soul. The liver houses what's known as the Hun. Okay, the Hun, which is the ethereal soul. And this is the aspect of your kind of spirit that wanders through time and space. So it's very linked with sleep and dreaming. And it's very linked with, you know, that kind of version of you that looks like a person after you've died. Okay, so somebody might say they've seen your ghost, and that would be the ethereal soul part of you that they've seen. Okay. And then move into the heart. So I'm going around the 5 elements now, okay? Moving to the heart. So just while we're on the liver for a sec, I focus on each of these organs in their respective seasons, and we do a full holistic journey through the organ, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, as a group, okay? So this is a group membership that is available. So we've currently detoxed the liver on a physical level. We've looked at the more kind of mental and emotional aspects of the liver. And we've done forgiveness meditations. We've done manifesting workshops, because the liver, one of the liver's functions is to create a vision. Okay, so the energy of the liver opens into the eyes. So the liver is linked with your vision, your physical vision, but also your mental and emotional and spiritual vision as well. Okay, so like any psychic abilities and your ability to envision your future. And so the paired organ that goes with the liver, so the liver is the yin organ, and then the yang organ, the masculine paired organ, is the gallbladder. And the gallbladder's function on a spiritual and psychological level is to plan. So the liver creates the vision, and the gallbladder creates the plan to get to the vision. And if those organs are not working correctly, you won't be able to envision your future. You won't know what it is you want to manifest, and you won't be able to clearly create that vision and then create the plan to get yourself there, okay? And all of these organs interplay with each other. They all have their role to play, okay? Because the kidneys are all about your willpower. So you might be able to create a vision and a plan, but you might not have the willpower to actually stick to it and drive yourself to actually action the plan. Okay, so all of these organs need to be healthy and in balance, and we address each organ predominantly in its own season when it's the easiest. It's the easiest to get that organ into balance in its own season. Okay, so that's the liver. There's obviously so much more to say about that, but if you're interested in finding out more, you can join the group coaching membership. Okay, so there's the year-long membership, which does it all, or you can join individual ones. So say you've taken the quiz, the menopause quiz, and it told you your organ was the liver, you could just join the liver one. Okay, that's £55. And then you've got lifetime access and you get all the updates every year. Okay, so it started a few years ago where I was literally just running a week-long liver detox. And then people bought the liver detox product and then they joined the group, and there was a couple of extra master classes. And each year it's grown. And I've added more and more and more. And each year I add something new and different. So you've got all the access to last year's, the year before, and every year before that's courses. But then you've also got the new updates every year as they happen as well. Okay, and it's the same for every organ. You can either join the year-long program, the membership, which is not just the organs, it's a heck of a lot more as well, which is something else I want to talk to you about today. But yes, that's available. Okay, so then we move into the heart season, the summertime. Okay, and then the spirit which resides in the heart is called the Shen. The Shen. And so your Shen is your conscious awareness. It's the light that comes out of your eyes. Okay, it's your spark of heaven in a physical body. It's your true north. It's knowing why you're here and creating this life of purpose that you love. And when you're in the energy of love, everything just manifests with ease. So I had an experience this month where I decided I was going to do a new course. Okay, I didn't know what. So there's several options available to me. So there was some digital marketing courses available that I wanted to purchase. Okay, there was some memberships for different coaches that I wanted to join for quite some time. There was loads of different things. And then something new came into my awareness, a new coach with a new program that I hadn't been considering came into my awareness, and I started dabbling in the kind of free, tidbits that were offered for this other course. And that course opened my heart. And it was just, there was no thinking, oh, which course am I going to buy this month? There was, because all the other courses I've been thinking of buying, they were things I've been thinking of for months on end. Oh, I really want to join that one. Oh, I'm going to join that soon. Yeah, I will join it soon. And before you know it, you've got a list of courses. You want to join them all. And then it comes to this month. And I was like, I'm going to do one of them this month. Which one is it? Think. Which one? And then this new course comes in and it's like, boom, heart open. I'm in the expansive energy of love. So I instantly bought that one because it's about expansion. It's about being in the energy of love. And that really is what life is all about. Okay? And so when we're in the heart energy, we don't need to think. We just know. We just feel and we just know. And when we can remain in the heart energy, we expand beyond our limits. So there's a lot of emphasis in the kind of coaching world about the mind and your limits and your subconscious beliefs and all of this. Whereas when you're in the heart, it's just pure expansion, okay? And one of the ways to get into the heart energy is through gratitude. And gratitude is a scientifically proven model for, changing your brain wiring and expanding your capacity to receive. So that's where we're going next. That's the next season, that's the next organ, and we'll be focusing on that in the next group coaching, okay? So that's the heart, and then we move into the spleen in the late summer. Now, a lot of people don't know that there's actually 5 seasons, okay? So a lot of people know, well, most people know about winter, summer, spring, and autumn, okay? But not everyone knows about this 5th season. And before I studied Chinese medicine, I always wondered what was this 5th element, because I knew about fire, water, earth and air, but I didn't understand where this 5th element came in. So before I understood about the 5 elements in Chinese medicine, I always thought that wood was the one that I couldn't place. But the wood element is all about the spring season. So we're in that wood energy now. It's all about new life, new growth, the uprising energy of nature, okay? And so this is why we detoxify the liver in the spring, because we're piggybacking on the energy of nature and we're just giving ourselves an ultimate boost. Spring clean the body the way you'd spring clean the house, boost your energy, kickstart your weight loss, and off you go. Because then you're going with the seasons rather than against them. And so the fifth season that I wasn't aware of, and that most people are not aware of, is the late summer. So there comes this moment towards like halfway through August, sort of like towards the end of August, beginning of September time, where I really feel this season change. It goes from this really intense summertime heat, which can be quite agitating for the heart. So as an acupuncturist and, you know, providing Chinese medicine services online as well as in person, what I see is during different seasons, I see more ailments that are connected to that organ than at any other time of the year. And so during the summertime, not only do I see a lot of shoulder issues because the heart and small intestine channels run through the shoulder, but I also see a lot more broken hearts, okay? A lot more anxiety, a lot more insomnia, these kind of things, because the intense heat of the summer is really agitating for the heart if we don't know how to balance it. But if we do know how to balance it, and if we do know how to be more yin, then it actually is very easy, okay? Effortless. Chinese medicine theory, principle, philosophy, it's all about the middle way. It's not too extreme one way or another. It's all about balance, and it's all about like going with the flow. That's what it's about. So if we live with the seasons, we're going with the flow of nature. So we don't have to put a huge amount of force and effort into these practices that we're engaging and into the ways that we're trying to change our lives. Okay, it all starts to become a lot more effortless and a lot more joyful as well. All right, guys. So in the late summer, you feel this change where it goes from this intensity of the heat into this really calm, really peaceful, really kind of like satisfying, fulfilling, expansive, just yes feeling. And that is the late summer. And that really is like the kind of peak of the year. It's the harvest season. It's when we reap the benefits of the harvest, and it's the time of the purest abundance, and it really is a time where you can just kind of, yeah, be at peace, okay? But the organ that's connected to that season is the spleen, okay? So if the spleen is not happy, you won't be feeling those things. You'll be worrying, and the worry and the thoughts will go round and around and around, and you'll create a lot of excess dampness in your system, and then that can lead to weight gain and also coughs and colds becoming more prominent in the autumn, okay? So we balance the spleen in the late summer, and we focus on, you know, being able to be in our totally purest abundant state with ease, and just feeling that true satisfaction of a full life, okay, on every level. That's this late summertime season. Then we go into the autumn season, which is the season of the lungs. It's the time of letting go. We look at the trees, they're all letting go of their leaves, and it's a time for us to let go of our summer and to, you know, basically, yeah, it's a time of letting go, okay? So the emotion that's attached to the lungs is grief. Let me backstep one sec. Let's go back to the spleen for a sec, because I was talking to you about the aspects of the soul that are housed in each organ. And for the spleen, it's the intellect, okay? So it's your ability to think clearly as well, okay? And to have ideas and to be creative and all of these kind of things, as well as, you know, that's why if the organ isn't happy, you'll be worrying and your thoughts will be like a washing machine going round and round and round, and you won't be able to think clearly. And so when we look at the organs as part of nature, and we observe what's happening in nature at these certain times of year, we can see that these things are also happening in our bodies at this time of the year as well. And then we can also see that some of these menopause symptoms that people suffer with are actually linked to these organs, okay? So brain fog being one that is particularly linked with the spleen, okay? Brain fog. And then like each person might say, I'm anxious, okay, I've got anxiety, but there's a particular type. So like a spleen person might be thinking I'm anxious, but it's actually worry. Whereas a heart person might be feeling anxious and it's really like palpitations and dizziness and insomnia. And then a kidney person might be feeling anxious, but it's like fear, you know, it's panic attacks. It's like your legs go from underneath you type of thing. So they're different. So really having these understandings of your organs helps you to identify what's really going on with you. And you also might notice that these symptoms tend to get worse in their own season. And if you simply know how to balance these organs correctly, then you will be able to heal yourself. The aim of my work at this stage of my life is to empower you to actually have the tools to be able to heal yourself to a point. We all do need external help, and you know, there is something about the kind of relationship between the practitioner and the patient, or the coach and the client, and there's something about two minds coming together that actually opens a divine channel where wisdom and answers can come through. So there's always going to be a place for that, but I'm really more interested in empowering you rather than you feeling like you have to get the answers from me all the time. Okay, so that's what this is all about. And we get to do it as a group in a community, and you know, as I say, you get the lifetime access as well, and you get the future updates, and you can meet other people that are on this similar journey, and it's all really vibey and amazing. All right, so we then go into the autumn season, as I was saying. Okay, so the spirit of the lungs is called the Po, and the Po is the corporeal soul. So it's the more animal instincts in us. It's the aspect of our spirit and soul that is breathing our lungs without us having to consciously think about it, and beating our heart and digesting our food. And it's very sort of somatic. So the way that we kind of get in touch with the Po is through somatic practices. Okay, also breath work, learning to let go. One of the most common questions I get asked throughout my entire career is, how do I let go? Okay, and that is hugely addressed in the lung element season. Okay, at the same time, if you've done the quiz and you know your organ is the lungs, you can go ahead and do the lung program now. Okay, and you can also, you know, there's nothing that's saying you can't work on each organ at a different time of year. Okay, what I've been thinking about doing recently, because I get so many ideas, okay, and then I have to sort of sit on them for a while now and think, okay, which ones are going to be the most kind of beneficial at this moment in time. Okay, so a few of the ideas I've had is, one of them is to create a 5-week quick sort of 5-element reset that we can do as a 5-week program, and then you can take that at any time of the year. Okay, and if you're taking that at different times of the year, you can also start with the organ that's in the season now. So say for example, you started the 5-week reset in the winter, you'd start with the kidneys and then you'd go around from there. If you're starting it now, you'd start with the liver. If you started it in the summer, you'd start it with the heart. Okay, and you'd go from there. And then you could redo that at any point you wanted to, because again, you'd have lifetime access for that. Another idea that I've had recently that won't leave me alone is to do a goddess course. Okay, it's called Be the Goddess. Okay, and it's going to be like a series of modules that I'm going to add into the year-long membership. Okay, so again, if you've done the quiz and you know your organ, you've got the opportunity to buy the pre-recorded, pre-created course for your organ. And when you purchase that, you, at the moment, you still get lifetime, you get a year in the membership included in the purchase for your organ solution at the moment. Okay, still doing that. So the other course that I'm going to add into the year-long membership as well is a journaling course. Okay, somebody asked me a question last week on a one-to-one call, and they said, oh, sorry if this sounds rude, but what's the point of the journal prompts? And I actually thought that's one of the best questions I've ever been asked, because the journaling is so potent and powerful. And there's many different types of journaling and many different purposes for journaling. And actually, for the purposes of manifesting, journaling is one of the most powerful practices. And, you know, one of the practices that actually works the best, it is journaling. So I'm going to add a journaling course, a couple of modules into the year-long membership as well. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so 3 new courses coming up. Be the Goddess, the journaling course, which I haven't got a name for yet, and the 5-week, 5-element reset, reboost. Let's not call it a reset. That's got different connotations to it, okay? Let's call it a 5-element boost, okay? Okay, where are we? We're still in the 5 seasons. So we're going next into the kidneys, which is the winter time. And again, I don't want to repeat myself too much in all the different videos, but the kidney season is all about going within. It's about introspection, it's about hibernation. Obviously, it's not possible to hibernate in today's society, but we want to have like that kind of introspection vibe alive and well throughout the winter months. We want to be eating everything warm. We want to be resting as much as possible. We want to be getting early nights, sleeping in. You're basically going with the light, okay? It's not the time of year for cold diets, raw foods, juice fasts. It's not the time of year for that. Okay, so we can, if we look after the kidney in its own season, it will be strengthened, ready for the year ahead. And so then when we get into spring and we kickstart our healthy regimes, we'll have so much more power to do so. And then the other thing I want to say about that was the spirit of the kidney, which is the zhe, that's the Chinese word for your will. Okay, it's your willpower. So if you haven't strengthened your kidneys in the winter, you're going to be lacking in willpower and you're going to be lacking in energy going on through the other seasons as well. Okay, so kind of like the kidneys are at the root of everything, because water, kidneys are like, you know, to do with the water element. Water's at the root of life. Okay, it kind of all begins with the kidney really. So even though we say, you know, it starts with the liver, it starts with the spring, the kidneys, the water element actually has to feed the roots of the tree that grows in the spring, okay? And so having your batteries fully charged is obviously going to be the best thing for your immunity. It's going to be the best thing for your nervous system. It's going to be the best thing for your energy and any other kind of like kidney related issues. Let's not forget that the kidneys in Chinese medicine are the creator of the hormones. Okay, so hugely powerful and hugely, you know, at the basis of the whole be more yin philosophy. Because every time we be more yin and we take that yin time, we're actually replenishing our kidneys. So it's like, think of an analogy. Think of charging your iPhone up at the wall. You plug your iPhone in at the wall and you charge the battery. Every time you engage in being more yin, you are literally charging your kidneys up. Okay, you're plugging in at the power source, and the power source is always now. Now is the power source. This is the eternal now. There is no other time. Okay, the past exists in your mind as a story. The future exists in your mind as an imagination. Now is the power source. All of the frequencies, all of the levels of consciousness, they all exist in the now. Okay, so that takes me into the next system. The next system I work with is the scale of consciousness. Okay, guys? So when we look at the scale of consciousness, and I'm sure I've shared pictures of it in the group before, but I will share them again. But when we look at the scale of consciousness, we see the frequencies that range from 0 to 1,000, okay? And we actually can superimpose the chakra system onto the scale of consciousness, okay? So I would say that the chakra system begins at 200, okay? 200 is the level of courage. And then, so that would be like the root chakra. And then we go up the levels of consciousness into 310 is willingness. That's the next quantum leap level. That would be like solar plexus energy. And then 400, so 499 is the level where the intellect caps out, and then we go to 500 is love. So the intellect caps out at 499, and it's only one point in consciousness, but it's a quantum leap that takes you out of the head and into the heart, okay, into the frequency of love. And then the miraculous level, okay, because I talk a lot about miracles. Miracles are an actual frequency, and all frequencies are available now. So it's all a choice, okay? This is where the power of decision comes in. This is why coaching is so powerful, okay? Because if we're healing, we're focusing on the past, we're healing the past, and we're healing like the result now of what's happened in the past. Okay. But when we're thinking about coaching, we're thinking about creating. Okay, we're thinking about like going forwards. The power of the decision in the now is choose my frequency now, and that determines my next moment. Okay, so I choose the miraculous frequency. I align myself to the level of frequency, which is the miraculous level, which is 540, is another quantum leap level on the scale of consciousness. 540 is the level where miracles occur. It says in A Course in Miracles, miracles occur naturally as expressions of love, and when they're not occurring, something has gone wrong. This is what's happening in the world. Something's gone majorly wrong, okay? But it's not too hard to fix when we recognize everything is available to us now. And it's the power of decision in the now that will determine the next now, okay? So literally, you know, we can look at the wars on the planet and we can say if every single human being chose to open their heart now, there would be no more. It's not going to take a lot to change. It takes a leap in consciousness to change. And that is where the power of the mind comes in. Whereas a lot of emphasis is on the mind in the kind of coaching world, and it is that is where the power lies, okay? Because your conscious decision is where all the power lies, but a lot of people get stuck in the mind, and the mind caps out at 499. So there's a lot of people doing a lot of thinking and a lot of work on their mindset, and a lot of kind of like, you know, trying to change my beliefs to change my life, when it's just one point in consciousness away from the quantum leap where it actually changes, okay? This is gold. Thank you so much for sharing. I just, honestly, guys, I just love this. I love doing these videos. And I never plan what I'm going to say. So it might feel a bit clunky in the beginning where I'm just getting started. But then once we're rolling, okay, guys? Thank you. So yeah, so these are the systems that I use, okay? So the systems, the Chinese medicine 5 elements system is very spiritual to me, okay? It takes years to develop the sensitivity to actually diagnose somebody's element type when you meet them in the clinic or in person, or even I can do it online now, okay? It's a subtle, we're working in the more subtle levels, okay? We're working in the more subtle levels of our being. And so it's all about the senses, it's all about the, so we call it colour, sound, emotion and odour. These are the 4 things which determine how you diagnose someone when you first see them. What colours are on their face? Hard to tell when you're wearing makeup, okay? But sometimes the colour still shines through even with makeup on. Like if somebody's a wood element type, they can be quite green. And even with makeup on, you can still see the green around their eyes and around the corners of their mouth. The kidneys is blue, so you tend to see blue under the eyes, but also you can see tinges of blue around, and sometimes here, around the edges and around the edges of the mouth. Fire people can either be red or they can have lack of red, okay? Whereas a metal person is white. So there's like bright white under the eyes, around the eyes, and sometimes here as well. Bright white with a metal person. Whereas a fire person who's got a lack of red, it's just like, you know when somebody says to you, oh, you're looking really pale, you're looking a bit pasty. It's like that. It's not white. Lack of red is like lack of. It's not a bright white, okay? And then what else is there? The earth element is yellow. So you get like a tinge of yellow here and here. Sometimes on the cheeks as well. And then the, which one have I missed out? Wood's green, fire's red or lack of red, earth is yellow, metal's white, and kidney's blue. Yeah, that's it, okay? So that's the colour. Then there's the sound of the voice, okay? So the wood element is like a shouting voice, and it's very clipped in the talking, and sometimes a bit like that even when they're talking, okay? And then the fire voice is like a crackling fire. Kind of when you watch a fire, it kind of crackles and goes up and down. I'm actually fire. I don't know if you can hear that in my voice, but I am very balanced in my element. So when somebody is out of balance, that's when these things jump out at you. Whereas through treatment and through kind of like awareness and consciously living with the seasons and consciously balancing things effortlessly all the time, making these daily little subtle tweaks and being more yin, you go way more balanced, and it's actually not as glaringly obvious. Okay. However, you might say, no, Carolyn, you are glaringly obvious. All right. So the earth is more of a sing-song voice. So you hear someone who's got like a singy voice, and someone actually who loves to sing and is a really good singer could be an earth element person. The metal voice is like a weeping tone, almost as if they're crying, or they're like their voice isn't strong. It hasn't got any power in it. It's just kind of like weak. Okay. And then a water element, like a groany voice. So sometimes, you know, people can say like, oh, they got a really husky voice, or, you know, like even sometimes a woman sounds a bit like a man, but it actually sounds quite nice. Like Annie Mac. Annie Mac was my favourite DJ on Radio 1. I could listen to her voice forever. It's very watery, very like kind of husky. Yeah, like that. All right. Guys, there's so much to this. We could talk about it forever. And we do talk about it on length in the containers. Okay, guys. But what I want to talk to you about today is the systems I'm using and the depth of what's available in Be More Yin. Okay. So we use the chakra system. We work with the chakra system. Okay. Because what I said in the beginning, my specialist areas, I forgot to mention, I was talking about my 2 specialist areas, the woman's journey and spiritual awakening. Those are my 2 specialist areas, okay? And like, as a Chinese medicine practitioner, it's kind of focused on health, but health is like the gateway in. Most people will come and speak to me because they've got a health issue, but it's getting underneath that and finding out why. My favorite question is why? Why have you got that health issue? Why is that presenting for you? And there's always an emotional and mental cause. And that's usually because of a life area that's not working. So there's resistance in an area of life that's causing a chronic thought and a chronic emotion, which then manifests as the body speaks the mind. The body will manifest it in a metaphorical way. Okay. So that's, again, another topic for another day, all right? If there's anything I mentioned in these videos that you want me to go more into, let me know, and I'll do another video on another day about specifically that as well. So we could do a video on the mind and emotional based causes of ailments, okay? But for me, my real kind of like interest, my real passion is the spirit, it's the soul, okay? It's why we're here. Going back to the Shen, it's that spark of the divine. We are all part of the divine. So a sunbeam is still part of the sun. It's an extension of its source. That's what we are. We're sparks of the divine on this planet. We're an extension of our source, and we're here for a unique purpose. So we have 2 life purposes. The one that we all share, which is to wake up to the now and be present, okay? And then the second purpose that we all have is a unique one. We're only us, like our unique piece of the puzzle that only we can bring. And if that puzzle piece doesn't get completed in this lifetime, the whole world loses out. This is how important this stuff is, okay? And so if you're not living your purpose, and if you don't even know what your purpose is, this is something I can help you with, okay? Because going back to what we were saying about the liver, perhaps your liver's clouded up with toxins, and that's why you haven't got a clear vision. Maybe that's why you can't think clearly, because of the organ imbalances that are just a result of the past. But we take our power of decision in the now, and we make a decision to start balancing our organs, and then the whole thing becomes more obvious, okay? And the heart starts to sing when we find that very special thing that we and only we can bring, okay? And if we're experiencing menopause issues, it's largely because we're living the wrong life, okay? Wrong life, okay? Not even to say that everything about your life has to change, but if you're not living your true purpose, then every part of your mind, body, spirit and life is trying to shake you and say, you're running out of time. It's now. It's now. Okay? Because at other phases of our lives, there are other priorities. You know, when we're younger, we're trying to find our place in the world, and not necessarily our purpose, but just our place in the physical world and how it all works. And then we become mothers, and then our focus is very much on the family and the home, okay? And that is in its right season as well. But when we get to menopause, there's no more messing about. Now's the time to wake up and to discover that true self. And once we're living in accordance with that, the resistance drops away. We become an energetic match for more harmony, more peace, more love, more flow. And these higher frequencies on the scale, okay, they actually, because they're expansive energies and because they're true energies, okay, they beget more of themselves. So the more we love, the more we love. And the more we love, the more we expand. And the more we expand, the more we feel peace. And the more we feel peace, the more we expand. And it just never stops, okay? So it's like an upward spiral, okay? Now, I mentioned that the chakra system, in my view, starts at the bottom of the, not at the bottom of the scale, at 200, which is the first quantum leap level, okay? And then under 200, we've got all of the out of integrity frequencies, vibrations. So it goes from 200 down to 0. You've got pride. Pride comes before a fall. You've got anger at 150. You've got desire at 125. Okay, so to desire means that you are desiring something outside of yourself to fulfill you. Hello, Marsha. Hi, thanks for joining us. To desire means that I believe that something outside of me will fulfill me, and until I get that, I can't be happy, okay? So that's very different. So 125 desire is very different than living from love and just being so filled up with now and so grateful for now that you're expanding into more, okay? That's the kind of juice. That's where life really starts and begins. Is when we hit that miraculous level and we're just so filled up with that gratitude and we're so awake and present in the now that we just naturally start to expand our capacity to receive. And as I said, with the higher frequencies on the scale, the more we love, the more we love. And the more we love, the more we expand. And the more we expand, the more we receive. And the more we receive, the more we expand. And the more we expand, the more peace we experience, okay? And it just doesn't stop. Because once we leave this physical form and we go on into other realms, the expansion never ever ends, okay? So this 3D reality really is a portal. It's a portal to whichever way you want to go, okay? Up, spiraling up, or spiraling down, okay? And it starts with a conscious choice, aligning yourself with the frequencies that are higher up on the scale, because they will lift you. So it's what you put in your environment around you, it's the people you surround yourself with, it's the food you feed yourself with, but also the information you feed yourself with, okay? Because what is the frequency of the information that you're taking in? I saw a post earlier and it was about the Schumann resonance and how at the moment, like literally today, the Schumann resonance is off the charts, and that actually, you know, the more darkness is happening in the world, the more light there is available. But it's us that we have to decide which way do we want to go, okay? Which energy are we feeding? Through our attention, through our engagement, through our receiving of the information and digesting that information in our systems. And so we are the portals. We're either the portals for the heavenly realms or we're the portal for the other place. And it's literally a moment-to-moment conscious decision. Where am I aligning my energy? Which frequency am I aligning to? Okay. Okay, so the systems that I'm working with are the 5 elements in Chinese medicine, the chakra system, the scale of consciousness, and also the wheel of life, okay? So the wheel of life, when we think, okay, it's quite basic. It's the coaching wheel of life, all right? But there's a heck of a lot of power in these systems. And if we're engaging in one system, it doesn't mean that we don't engage in any others, okay? I see them like holographs, and they can literally holographically stack on top of each other, and they can all work together in the most beautiful way. And so when we think of the wheel of life, the coaching wheel of life, we look at all the life areas, okay? And there'll always be areas that are doing better right now than other areas. And then we can take our attention and focus on improving the areas that aren't doing so well. And actually, by taking our focus off a particular block or problem or something that we've been trying to change for a while and putting it onto another life area and increasing that can actually help us to get unstuck in the area that we've been stuck in for a while. So say, for example, you've been working on money for a while, right? Say you haven't been able to shift your money situation, but all your energy and focus is going into that, and you're doing everything you can to try and change your money consciousness, your beliefs, you're hiring coaches to do with your business, and it's all focused there. And then we look at the coaching wheel of life, and we look at all the life areas, which are also another diagram basically that represents the chakra system, okay? And we can say, all right, maybe I'm not looking after my health well enough at the moment because too much of my focus is going into this money stuff. And if I take my attention to the health for a while and start improving there, what happens is as the sea level rises, all ships go up with it. So as you start to take your focus off an area that you've been kind of like obsessively focusing on for a while and put it onto another life area, you rise all the ships up with it, okay? And therefore your business and your money start to improve because you started improving your health as well, okay? Does that make sense, guys? That was actually something that came to me in the shower this morning. I was thinking about the wheel of life, and I was thinking, it's just like, it's the life areas. And when we think of the chakra system, it's also the life areas, okay? So we want to be balanced in our approach, okay? And so what's the easiest way to balance? In my view, is living with the seasons and balancing the organs in their respective seasons, which makes life start to flow effortlessly, okay? I think that will do for today, guys. I think I've been going for nearly an hour, okay? The point of today's video was to talk to you about the systems that I use in my healing and coaching practice and the depth of transformation that is available to you, okay? This was for new people in my world, and also people maybe have been working with me for a while that don't actually know the depth of the systems that I'm using, okay? And obviously I can't do them all justice in 1 hour long video, but just wanted to do a little video on that today, okay? Let's just finish what we were saying about the scale of consciousness first. And obviously, if you've got any questions, please ask me now. But if you're on the replay, you can ask me in the comments section of this video, and I'll come back and answer them. Either in another video or I'll answer you in the comments, okay? So we were looking at the levels of consciousness below 200 on the scale, okay? So these are the downward spiraling ones, okay? So we got pride and anger and desire, and then at 100 it's fear, okay? And then at 75 it's grief. At 50 it's apathy, which is like depression, hopelessness. At 25, or is it 30 is guilt, and 20 is shame, and 0 is death, okay? So it goes from like no energy at all at 0 up to like Jesus was 1,000 on the scale, okay? And that shows the potential for human consciousness, okay? It is literally all available now, literally all of it, okay? So it's a conscious decision. Where do I align on the scale? We fluctuate between them all on a daily, weekly, monthly basis anyway. We all go through cycles and seasons. So as much as I'm talking about the 5 elements and how we're in the liver season now, in your own kind of personal life, you might be in a different season. You might be going through your personal winter in the middle of what's physically summertime, or you might be thriving in the middle of winter, okay? So all of these frequencies happen and are available, but we can become more conscious in our choice and direction of where we want to align and become an energetic match, okay? We become an energetic match. So if we notice that we're a bit stuck in some of the lower frequencies at the moment, they also link to the organs. So for example, if you're feeling a bit depressed and hopeless, that does link. There is, again, each organ has its own version of these, okay? So each organ has its own version of stuckness and depression or anxiety or whatever. But ultimately, there are organs that will kind of like be overarchingly, oh, it's more than likely that one, okay? And so like if you are feeling depressed, it's more than likely to do with the liver. If you are feeling in fear, it's more than likely to do with your kidneys, okay? If you are feeling desire, if you're feeling desire, I would say it's linked with your earth element, with your spleen, okay? Because your spleen is your ability to nourish. Spleen and stomach go together as a pair. So the spleen and the stomach in Chinese medicine are the digestive system. And like the spleen's job is to transform and transport energy and nutrients from your food. So if your digestion is weak and you're not able to receive all the nourishment from your food, then your earth element may be out of balance, which means you're not able to receive grounding and nourishment and stability and help and money as well. So you might be desiring something outside of yourself because you can't feel full up inside yourself, okay? And ultimately, being more yin, so doing the yin practice every day, which comes from the meditation technique, will heal all of it. All right, it will heal all of it. Okay, so what's available? You've got all of the 5 organ solutions available from the menopause quiz that takes you into the year-long membership, where we'll do the whole year of group coaching around each of the seasons, plus the bonus courses I talked about. That'll all be, you can go through the quiz to get to all of that. And then I've got a new link tree which I'm going to be putting live in the next couple of days, and in there there'll be links to my meditation course, pre-recorded. Chinese Medicine for Principles for Radiant Living course is in there as well, which is based in the Yang Sheng Nourishment of Life principles, and it also goes like physical, mental, emotional and spiritual as well. I've also packaged up, so what we've done for the liver this season, and all the old replays as well, I've actually packaged that up into its own little mini course. So that one will be available for £55 as well, and they've got all the masterclasses and all the recipes from the detox and everything like that. That's also going to be in the link tree. And then any kind of products that I'm affiliate for, health products, well-being products, and anything else that I feel will support you on your journey. All right, guys, and then obviously you can reach out to me to work with me one-to-one, and if you work with me one-to-one, you get it all included. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to me today. I love you, and I will speak to you very, very soon.